Hi there, Jessica Humphreys.
And Bruno Saint-Hilaire.
We're so happy to see you for video 2. Yay, you made it. Your health is definitely a priority. So hopefully you took the time to watch video 1. If not, make sure you go back and watch it, and that you were able to identify what are your main energy stealers in your life and how to add in more energy supporters. That's definitely going to help you in terms to get you on track for what your main health goal is. So like we said, today we're going to talk about the first way, or actually the first 2 ways to energize your life. We're going to be talking about how to add in more wholesome food, nutrient-dense foods. We're going to be talking about the glycemic index and how that can impact your health in a good and a negative way. And then we're also going to finish off with good fats and bad fats as well. Good. So we're going to say bye-bye with our little faces, and we're going to get into the content for today. So take a, going back. So take a look at the pyramid here. It might be a different food pyramid that you're used to seeing. This comes from Harvard School of Public Health. And it's one that we like to use because it's based on optimizing people's health. And if you look at it, the main part on the bottom is getting your butt moving every day, daily exercise, as well as eating wholesome grain foods, lots of lovely oils, so we're going to be talking about the fats after, and abundance of fruits and veggies, so more veggies in abundance, lots of different colors. Then you want to add in some fruits. Here it says 2 to 3 fruits per day. They're good for you, but remember there are sugars in there, so you don't want to fill an abundance of fruits on your plate. Go more for your veggies. Then you want to add in the lean protein, so going more into vegetable proteins, and there's some examples here. You got nuts, you got legumes, you can go more into also lean proteins, so you have fish, you have poultry, eggs. And then as we get higher up in the pyramid, it's things that you want to add in sparingly into your diet, because those are more energy stealers versus the lower end are energy supporters. So you want to, limit your daily consumption for the dairy to 1 to 2 times per day. And if you're all about taking out dairy, go for it. Take out dairy, because you can also find it in nuts, you can find it in veggies, and you can also add in a high quality calcium supplement. And then if you look at the top, things that you really probably want to avoid, because those are definitely energy stealers, terms in white rice, white breads, white pastas, potatoes, anything that's like it's really, really sweet. So things that have artificial sugars in it, going more for the red meats, anything that has saturated fats in it, transformed fats in it, that you want to stay away from. That's what's causing that oxidative stress in the body, that's causing inflammation and not getting you to that healthy state that you'd love to be in. So take a look at the bottom of the pyramid and see, where does your diet situate in here? Where are you getting your food from throughout the day? And this is a great little trick. You can just take a look at this and try to add in more wholesome foods so that it gives you more nutrients for the day and that your energy will sustain for the day. And then if you look on the side, alcohol in moderation. Again, we were talking about alcohol yesterday being an energy stealer. So adding very moderation in your life, as well as adding in a high quality multivitamin, which we will be talking about a little bit more tomorrow. Now, first, in order to attain your healthy lifestyle, to have the best energy, adding in wholesome foods is number 1. And then now let's talk about the glycemic index. Sometimes that's like a little missing piece of the puzzle, and to figure out how to choose your foods so that you have sustained energy throughout the day.
Yes, the glycemic index is something very important to understand, because it has an effect on your level of energy throughout the day. Also, if food is higher in the glycemic chart, it will most of the time have less nutrient value for your cells. So when you think of feeding yourself, the main goal is to provide your cells with the right nutrients in the right form and the right quantity. So that's why it's always a very good idea to go more towards lower glycemic food, and we'll show you a few examples in a few seconds. High glycemic foods are said to score between 60 to 100 medium glycemic 40 to 55, 60, and 0 to 35, 40 are low glycemic. Now, where does the glycemic index come from? Well, it's a group of scientists at the University of Toronto back in the 80s, under the direction of Dr. David Jenkins, that you see the picture on the screen right now, that did a lot of research on that. And the glycemic index corresponds to the quantity of glucose or sugar in the blood once you've digested some kind of food, whether it's solid or liquid. So we'll show you a few examples of high glycemic foods, for instance. Those are the ones that have the least nutrient value for your cells, and also that provide you very unstable energy level throughout the day. So typically a high glycemic food would create a lot of cravings, would leave you with very low energy and just spikes of high energy. So that's not something that you'd like to integrate, or very little at least. Now the next chart will show you medium glycemic foods, but before we move to that one, I just want to point something special on that one. The cooked carrot, you know, it could be, is at 85, so that's higher than table sugar. And it's not only the cooked carrot, it's any cooked vegetable that will end up in the high glycemic category because of the cooking process. So that's why we want to eat our vegetables as raw as possible. Now, some examples of medium glycemic foods that are, you know, better than high glycemic, but not ideal. And again, you have to be careful. You know, peanut butter needs to be the one with the oil on top when you're purchasing them. It's the same thing for any nut butter. Whole grain bread, make sure that it's whole and living flour. So if it's transformed and if it stays on your kitchen counter for days and doesn't do anything, that's definitely a high glycemic type of bread. Rice, pasta, they need to be whole grain, but you need to be careful the way you're going to cook them. So if you need to prepare them al dente, like we say in Italian, so this way it doesn't affect too much the glycemic index. Any fruit juice, if it's not made from concentrate, is okay. It's in the medium glycemic category. And all the other ones made from concentrate are very high glycemic. And to complete the chart, the low glycemic food examples are definitely what's the best for us, simply because that's how Mother Nature prepared it for us. So as you can see, the raw carrot, as with any other raw vegetables, is the perfect way to eat your vegetables. If you're a chocolate lover, you'll probably be very happy to see that chocolate is low glycemic, as long as it is chocolate and not a candy bar. It needs to be written 70% cacao or more. All right. Another aspect of food that is very important to demystify is fats. Back in the 70s, it started in the United States and here in Canada, fats were simply categorized as bad, all of them. And now we understand that many fats, especially the ones that are transformed by the food industry, are very, very unhealthy. And it's a very good tip to avoid them as much as possible. But there are good fats, the essential fats that are provided by Mother Nature that are essential, like the word, their name states. So you have a few examples on the screen right now of good fats that your cells aren't able to produce by themselves. You need outside sources like vegetables or some kind of oils like olive oil or seeds, fish, seafood, avocados, but also cocoa. Coconut is a very good source of healthy fats.
Great. So hopefully that gave you some great information, maybe helped demystify on how to make better food choices. And we want to come back down and remind you how simple it is. And I know online we try to read things and people tell us things and it seems so complicated, but just come back down to it by choosing the more wholesome foods, the more in their natural state, and not even too much preparation, like Bruno was talking about the glycemic index. And it's just it's so nice to hear on bringing your diet back to being simple is what's good for us. So if you're interested in our 4-week EnerJize Your Life program, we teach you on how to eat low glycemic. We also teach you and to help you to keep your blood sugar stable throughout the day. That also helps you reduce your food cravings, reduce your oxidative stress, and help you have sustained energy throughout the day. So tomorrow, we're going to be talking about supplementation. How do you feel about supplementation? Maybe think about it, and so that we can continue our conversation tomorrow. Are you for? Are you against? We'll definitely demystify that for you tomorrow. And again, if you want and if you have any questions, or if you want to see how you can work with us or have more information on our EnerJize Your Life program, please do book your free 15-minute coaching call just by clicking on the link below. And we're so excited to see you again tomorrow and chat with you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.